An F-15 down in flames, a US embassy struck, and now European soil. Iran's drones have reached Cyprus. For the first time since 1986, Britain's Royal Air Force base at Akrotiri has been hit. This war is no longer contained to the Middle East. It's spreading like wildfire. A United States Air Force F-15E Strike Eagle fighter jet has gone down in Kuwait, with dramatic footage circulating on social media showing the twin-engine aircraft engulfed in flames before plunging into the desert floor. The crash occurred in northern Kuwait, near the Iraqi border, in a sparsely inhabited location close to the Khor Abdullah waterway that divides Iraq and Kuwait. The pilot successfully ejected before the aircraft went down and is reported safe. The cause of the crash has not yet been officially determined, and authorities have released limited details so far. At this stage, neither the US military nor Kuwaiti authorities have issued official statements confirming the cause of the crash, and it is unclear whether the jet suffered a mechanical failure, was struck by fire, or encountered another issue. Investigations are reportedly underway. Unconfirmed reports quoted unnamed US officials suggesting the incident may have been a case of friendly fire, though neither that claim nor the ownership of the jet could be independently verified. Iran has claimed responsibility for bringing down the aircraft, though that claim remains unverified. The F-15's loss, even if tied to friendly fire, underscores the risks of operating in a densely contested airspace with multiple allied and adversarial systems active. In a separate and alarming development also out of Kuwait, the US embassy there has reportedly been struck by an Iranian drone. According to sources in the region, the attack on the US embassy in Kuwait was carried out by a Shahed-136 drone, with geolocation confirmed. Videos circulating online, which could not be independently verified, showed smoke rising from the embassy compound. The US embassy in Kuwait said there is a continuing threat of missile and UAV attacks over the country.
There is a continuing threat of missile and UAV attacks over Kuwait. Do not come to the embassy. Take cover in your residence on the lowest available floor and away from windows. Do not go outside. The US Embassy in Kuwait urges US citizens in Kuwait to shelter in place, review security plans in the event of an attack, and to stay alert in case of additional future attacks.
The attack is part of a broader Iranian retaliatory campaign. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has claimed that 27 US military targets in the Middle East have been struck, and has warned that operations would continue relentlessly until the enemy is decisively defeated. Overnight, the conflict reached European soil, or at least European-linked territory, as Britain's Royal Air Force base at Akrotiri in Cyprus was struck by a suspected Iranian drone. Personnel at the base were informed that a small drone had impacted the airfield and that the base's authorities were responding. There were no casualties as a result of the strike, but minor damage was caused. The drone is said to have been a Shahed-136, a one-way attack drone which has been used regularly by the Russian military for strikes in the Ukraine war. A number of British planes left the base shortly after the blast, including at least 2 fighter jets and 1 support aircraft. The attack marks the first on the base since a 1986 rocket strike by Libyan militants. Cyprus President Nikos Christodoulides was quick to respond, stressing that his country is not a party to the conflict.
At 12:03 midnight, a Shahed-type drone approached the military installations inside the British base in Akrotiri, causing minor damages. We find ourselves in a region of particular geopolitical instability, with a lot of challenges and problems which is experiencing an unprecedented crisis. I want to be clear, our country is not participating in any way, and does not intend to be part of any military operation. We remain committed to the humanitarian role we have served throughout this time, always as part of the solution and not the problem.
Christodoulides also said that British Prime Minister Keir Starmer had confirmed to him clearly and unequivocally that Cyprus was not a target, adding that all relevant authorities are fully engaged and monitoring developments closely. Christodoulides also held calls with the heads of the European Council and the European Commission, as well as the leaders of France, Italy, Lebanon, and Qatar. The Akrotiri base remains British sovereign territory and plays a central role in supporting regional military operations. Tonight, it finds itself on the front line of a rapidly expanding conflict. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has claimed that the USS Abraham Lincoln, a United States Navy aircraft carrier, was struck by 4 ballistic missiles. The announcement came from the IRGC's Public Relations Office as part of what Tehran designated Announcement Number 7 of Operation True Promise 4. In the statement, the IRGC said the strike was carried out as part of a broader campaign of military operations against targets associated with the United States and Israel. Tehran declared that its armed forces had entered a new phase of military confrontation, warning that operations on both land and at sea would be intensified. The IRGC said further details would follow. Meanwhile, 2 Iranian missiles were fired towards Cyprus as Tehran widened its retaliatory strikes across the Middle East, raising fresh concerns over the safety of British forces stationed in the region. Speaking to the BBC on the morning of March 1st, UK Defence Secretary John Healey confirmed that 2 missiles had been launched in the direction of Cyprus, although he suggested the island may not have necessarily been the intended target. The Defence Secretary declined to say whether the United Kingdom supported the American and Israeli strikes on Iran, reiterating that Britain played no part in those operations.
Britain played no part in the strikes on Iran. We share, however, the primary aim of all allies in the region and the US that Iran should never have a nuclear weapon. We play no part in the strikes, we just didn't participate, and it is for the US to set out the legal basis of the action that it took.
Healey declined to comment on whether Britain could directly attack Iran, refusing to speculate on hypothetical operations or discussions. However, a source told the Jerusalem Post that the missiles were indeed aimed at Cyprus but fell short, landing in the sea. Thousands of British personnel, known collectively as British Forces Cyprus, are stationed at the UK sovereign base areas of Akrotiri and Dhekelia. The developments come amid escalating regional tensions following Israeli and American strikes on Iran. Describing the situation as increasingly volatile, Healey warned that Iran had been mounting what he called indiscriminate, widespread, and uncontrollable attacks. Tehran has launched strikes against several countries in response to Israel's Operation Roaring Lion and the United States' Operation Epic Fury, including Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Oman. Highlighting the dangers posed by the expanding campaign, Healey said,
"It demonstrates how our bases, our personnel, military and civilians at the moment are at risk."
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Keir Starmer spoke directly with Cyprus's president, Nikos Christodoulides, to offer reassurance. In a statement posted on social media, President Christodoulides said Sir Keir had confirmed clearly and unequivocally that Cyprus was not a target. He added that all relevant authorities were closely monitoring developments. Elsewhere in the region, British forces have experienced several near misses. Reports indicate that troops in Bahrain were just 200 yards from an Iranian missile and drone strike on a US naval base. Social media footage appeared to show US Patriot missile systems attempting interceptions. In Iraq, British troops were said to have been approximately 400 meters from an airstrike that penetrated Allied defenses. Defense sources stated that all UK personnel were safe and accounted for, though they declined to confirm whether any had been wounded.